አግኝቼዋለሁ። እንትን አጥፉ የሪኖ ነገር አጥፋል። ሰይድ አጥፋል። የሪኖ መሰለኝ ዶክተር ተስፋዬ ዶክተር ተስፋዬ
ኤርፎን ነው ይጋል
ዶክተር ተስፋዬ ሸር አድርጌያለሁ።
አላገኘው ሁለት ጥያቄ አለ። እኔ እኮ ሌሎቹ ለምን እንደሚገናኙ አይገባኝም። እነዚህ ቃቴ ምናምን አሁን እዚህ ናቸው ያሉት። ምን ያለ
ኤርፎን ይሻላል ይሰማል።
አይደለም ምንድን ነው የሚያሉት? አሁን እኮ ብዙ ነው ያሉት። አይታቸው ስለዚህ አሁን እናንተ አምሳ ነው ያለው እንደሰጠው ወቅና
ሄሎ ይሰማል? ሄሎ እኔ ሰማችኋለሁ። መጀመር የሚቻል ከሆነ ሄሎ
ሄሎ
ይሰማል ወይ? ፓወርፖይንቱን ዝም ብለህ በኢሜል ብትልክልኝ ማሸር ማድረግ አይከፈልበት ይሆናል።
አይ አልደረሰም ፓወርፖይንቱ
18
ያው ጂስት ይቺኛው
ምን ታረቀው
ስላይዱን ሙቭ ሰራ
አልደረሰም ፓወርፖይንቱ
ይኸው መጥቷል። 1918 76 7 16
ዶክተር ተስፋዬ ስክሪን ሞድ አይደለም አጠፋው እንዴ?
የኔ አልጠፋም።
ፓወርፖይንት
አልደረሰም።
አሁን ነው የመጣ። እሺ እንትን አድርገው ፉል ስክሪን አድርገው።
ፉል ስክሪን ነው።
እሺ ዶክተር ተስፋዬ መጀመር እንችላለን? ዶክተር ተስፋዬ መጀመር እንችላለን? ይሰማል? ማውራት ነው የማይችለው።
የኔ ይታየኛል።
ዶክተር ተስፋዬ መጀመር እንችላለን? ዶክተር ተስፋዬ
አቤት አይሰማም? እኔ ይሰማኛል።
ዲስፕሌይድ ከሆነ መጀመር እንችላለን።
አዎ ዲስፕሌይድ ነው፣ ግን ይሄኛው እንትኑ ፕላትፎርሙ ሙቭ አያደርገውም እና ፉል ስክሪን ሳይሆን ነው ሙቭ ማድረግ የሚችለው። አሁን ሌላው ኦዲየንስ ላይ እናንተ ጋር ሙቭ ቢያደርግም እኔ ጋር ሙቭ ስለማያደርግ ፉል ስክሪን አያድርገው። በዛ መልኩ ቢሆን
ፉል ስክሪን ሳታረግ ቀጥል። So the presenter will be Mr. Danyacho. He will present your finding on the title, which was already displayed on the slide. So, Mr. Presenter, we have to use your presentation. So now we can start. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, internal and external examiners and otherwise the chairmans. Assessment and management of hydrocarbon beetles, course for purchase Chinese, Kolkata purchase using botanical or fava bean. Green Gozaman District, Northwest Ethiopia. Major advisor, Muratalam Area, co-advisor, Lata Nagash, PhD. Presentation outlines. The presentation outlines, introduction, material and methods, result and discussion, conclusion and recommendation. Introduction. Fava bean is one of the oldest domesticated pulse crop in the world. It is the fourth most essential pulse crop worldwide after field pea, chickpea, and lentils. Pulse crop grown in Ethiopia are area coverage 12.33% and production of the pulse crop 9.69%. Pulse crop prominent during a daily diet and contains 20 up to 13% protein and supplying of carbohydrate, mineral, and fats. It gives important amount of nitrogen to the soil fertility. It is a stable male crop from most of the Ethiopian population. Fava bean is the sixth most produced crop within the state area. The crop is challenged by several constraints at the field and storage condition. Purchase infestation starting within the field often continues in storage. Among the major constraints of fava bean grains in storage condition, purchases are considerable yield loss of insect pests. Factors that may contribute to the insect pest development including climate variability, green moisture, and poor storage practices. Green storage system plays a crucial role in preventing losses of purchase Chinese. Protection of pulses from the insect pest is the most important issue in developing countries. A single larva can destroy several mature seeds and several infestation up to 100% damage. Insect deterrence may result in grains that are unfit for human consumption and losses of food commodity both in terms of quality and quantity. Chinese is one of the crop damaging pests and it is dispensed to warm and humid area of the country, including the Gozaman district. The loss of fava bean grains because of Chinese during storage has been the most important threat to the protection of food security of people in Ethiopia. To achieve the food security goal in Ethiopia desires to consider not only increasing production and productivity, the reduction of post-harvest loss is the main one. To reduce such losses, farmers have been using different kinds of control techniques or practices. Synthetic insecticides adverse impact on public health, residue in food, resistance on target with high cost of insecticide and pollution of the ecosystem. Appropriate care during application expose insecticide sprayers and also harm non-target organisms. The use of plant derivatives, insecticide and inert materials is an alternative approach of insect pest management. Botanical and wood ash are relatively easy to apply, is available to the farmers and secure to the environment. Botanical insecticides, an important and effective purchase management that are safe to the humans and the environment than synthetic insecticides. The objective of this study initiates to contribute to assess damage and to reduce post-harvest loss of Ababin greens using botanical due to the purchase. To under survey on the loss of Ababin greens due to Aduscapin beetle to evaluate the efficacy for local available botanical against Aduscapin beetles. Material and methods. Description of the study area. The study was conducted at Gozaman District, East Gojam Administrative Zone, 2021. Altitude is 1,200 up to 3,510 meters above sea level. The minimum people mainly perform mixed agriculture that form farmers growing teff, wheat, maize, sorghum, barley, legumes, oil crop, and vegetable and fruits. Agriculture is the mainstream of within inside the district within the characteristic by mixed crop livestock rearing system. Assessment of farming greens and losses in Gozaman district due to purchase. Sample size determination and procedure. The district is selected purposely taking into consideration accessibility issue, assess the farming green losses of producer farmers. 6 fava bean producing Kabale was selected purposely. Damba, Chartakar, Atisnabuli, Tuwonka, Jimport, and Yepopla. A sampling procedure selected a representative fava bean producer farmer at Gozaman district. Farmers select systematic sampling technique proportional to the population. The sample size was determined by applying scientific formula. The formula seems like on the slide. Damage and losses of favoring green at Gozaman district due to a purchase. Each farmer selected systematic sampling technique proportional to the population to take sample from them. The sample taken from top, middle, side, and bottom of the storage structure. The sample taken to Deborah Marcos University entomology laboratory, sample measured by sensitivity balance. The green was sorted into damaged and undamaged categories. The damaged and undamaged greens were conducted and weighted recorded. The percentage of weight losses were determined by using the equation. The equation or the formula seems like on the slide. Assessment of purchase management practice of farmer or fava bean greens. A total of 130 representative farmers were taken as respondents the questionnaire from the district. Data collected a face-to-face interview using semi-structured questions. The questionnaire focused on storage structure, storage period, purchase control practice, period of infestation, market demand, and consumed assessed. Damage, fava green, weight loss, seed germination, weight recorded and analyzed. Management of purchase using botanical at Gozaman district, collecting and reading of Aduska bean beetles. The collecting samples of damaged greens due to purchase were taken to the Deborah Marcos University Entomology Laboratory. We wish the 3 mm size was used to separate the beetle from the greens. Reading was done Deborah Marcos University Entomology Laboratory. Clean and well-saved greens were bought from smallholder farmers in the local market. The greens were placed in a plastic bag and kept in the refrigerator for days at -5 degrees centigrade to remove any infestation and contamination. Rearing media for Aduscapin beetle is laboratory at 25 degrees centigrade to 28 degrees centigrade, relative humidity 65 up to 70%. About 150 and 6 adult purchase or 1 to 2 days old released in each jar. The jar covered and sealed with Muslim clothes and prevent the contamination escape of purchase and entrance of unwanted insect pests. To maintain the temperature and the adjustable light lamps were used for the adults starting emerging. The newly emerged adults were used for the experiment. Preparation of botanical treatment to manage purchase. Experiment assess the efficacy of 9 botanical powder, Vernonia, Amadelian, Ramus, Perno, Pernodias, Gozito, Abyssinica, Capsica, Ane, Phytolacca, Dudu, Candara, Azant, Ndeka, Meltita, Franginia, Ecolaptus globalis, Corton, Macros, Taches, and inert matter against Chinese. Under the laboratory condition, maritime 5% and anti-check were used for the comparison. The collected seed and leaves of botanical were dried under shade for 14 days, prepared dusts. Pestle and mortar were used to crush the dried seed and leaves of botanical into fine dusts. Treatment and experimental. The test was included 12 treatment arranged in SRD with 3 replication. 20 newly emerged adult purchased 1 up to 2 days old were added to each jar. Adult purchased mortality, parent adult purchased mortality from each jar were counted and recorded 1, 2, 4, 8, and 10 days after treatment application. The purchase in the first 10 days parents by using both formula. The formula seems like this. The progeny emergency tested seed for emergency F1 progeny were vectors. Green damage. The amount of green damage was estimated by converting the proportional damage green the sample green in the replication. Percentage green damage formula seems like on the slide. Weight loss 100 green taken from each jar treatment at 19 days after treatment application. Protection percentage of the efficacy of botanica against purchase were calculated by using the formula. Germination percentage, the formula is on the slide. Data analysis, the assessment data was performed using Microsoft Excel 2130. Descriptive static were used to analyze the survey data. ANOVA was done according to Gomez. Data was statically analyzed using SAS version 9.2. SNKT at 5 level, significance level when ANOVA significant to determine the difference among the treatment. Correlation analysis one was done among the variable using SAS at 1% level of significance. Result and discussion. Farmer practice to manage purchase in Gozamin district on Faba Bingiri. Farmer will practice various purchase management techniques. Study shows that 15% of the sample respondent farmers were used botanical. Study shows that 15 of the sample respondents for utilized insecticide. About 10% of the sample respondent farmers were applied both insecticide and botanical. The rest of 25 sample farmers not doing any to manage purchase. Similar to Adana reports about did not use any protection method on sorghum crop during storage. The line with stated that minimize loss of green in store farmers use both traditional and synthetic insecticide and few of them combine both them. As such, the majority of the farmers within the study area used different insecticide plant for the control of purchase. Farmers have different form of traditional practice within including various insecticide plant dash for the control of storage pests. Few farmers use botanical to manage storage insect pests. Storage duration of purchase infestation of faba bean greens in Gozamin district. The sample respondent farmers were stored their faba bean green from after a month to 1 year. The sample respondent farmers to store after a year 10%. The sample respondent farmers were stored their crops 6 months 70%. The sample respondent farmers were stored their crops for 1 month up to 8%. The sample respondent farmers were stored after 3 months 11%. The survey result revealed that majority of the farmers in the two study districts do not store maize grain for more than 1 year, except a few farmers in Sokotra district. Storage structure of fava bean grain in Gozamin district. Of the total sample farmers, 54% were stored their product in Gota. Some farmers stored in sack. The rest sample farmers insecticide treated sack. The finding is in line with other study Adana, storing sorghum, traditional storage, and other storage practices. Similar with Murat and Yamana indicated that Gota was dominant storage structure for bean greens than the remainder farmer used other storage structures. Purpose of Fava Bean Green used by farmers in Gozaman district. The sample respondent farmer fava bean greens were used for various purposes. About 13% of fava bean produce were used these greens for market value, 27% for seed purpose, and 16% have home consumption. Similar finding Murat and Deman indicates that farmers used fava bean green for consumption, seed, financial resource, and material exchange. Percentage of the greens, the assessment is that green damage due to purchased ቀበሌስ like Demba, Chartakar, Wanka, Sinaguli, Tebokla, Chimpor, the damage respectively, the numbers. The district of the average Fababi green damage percentage was recorded as 13.17%. Similar reports, damage stored green depend on temperature, relative humidity, poor storage hygiene, favor the expansion of mold and bug infestation. Percentage of weight loss of fava bean green due to purchase. The lowest weight loss and the highest loss was respectively Jimbot, Ebokla, Snagulit, Wanka, Chartakal, Demba on green weight loss value. Weight loss due to insect depends on the type and the population of insect, its storage, as well as the influence of environment factors that support their development. Germination percentage botanical treated fava bean green. Germination percentage of green were recorded in Chiport, Wanka, Chartakal, Adishinabli, Tebokla, and Wanka. The result was in agreement with Suleiman that heavily infested sorghum seeds may lose their viability due to the inside development and feeding habits of the purchased larva. Effects of botanical inert material and the parent mortality of purchased on fava bean green. The result shows that there were significant differences among the three purchased parent adult mortality. Malaton 5% at the rate of 0.1 weight of weight, green Abyssinica oil at the rate of 2 ml weight, and wood ash at the rate of 4 induced 119.9 and 85.4 adult mortality respectively. The lowest rate of mortality capsicum and respectively followed by Pernodias and globalis. Effect of botanical and inert material on mortality of parent adult purchase. Control is 0% and standard check is 100%. First day. Second day, control 0%, standard check